Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Clayton. On this channel, we're striving to save you money and keep you informed on all the proper plumbing practices. We're going to be diving into this cartridge replacement right away here. So I got some tools that we have here. We have shut the water down. I'll show you guys how to do that. Throw some B-roll to show you guys how to do that right now. So the first thing you want to do is shut the water down to make sure. Open your handle here to make sure there's no water that comes out. And then from here, usually what you'll have on your kitchen faucet, you'll have a little plug here. Now this is, behind this plug there'd be an Allen key. So what I like to do is I'll just grab a knife and just ever so gently, you want to just get underneath this little plug and just pull it up. And then just place that off to the side. Another thing is when you're doing any work to your faucet or anything like this, there might be some little parts that come out. So make sure you have your plugs in for your drains. So we'll make sure those are in so I don't drop any little pieces down into the sink and lose some parts. Trusty little Allen key set. So it could be metric or it could be imperial. So it's nice to have both sets. All taps are the same. So and one might seem like it fits nice, and it might be the wrong Allen key, which would then cause it to strip, and we don't want that. Okay, so I found the Allen key, and luckily, I'm just doing this. I haven't taken this apart yet. This is to show you guys that anybody can do this. You can see it's got a little bit of calcium buildup in there, nothing too crazy. So if you are having problems taking this little set screw out, you can see what it looks like there. You can spray some WD-40 in this, or you can spray some vinegar or something just to take the calcium away, and it'll help loosen that nut up a little bit. So usually there's like a piece here that'll cover the nut that holds the cartridge in place. So this is just a little piece, and I find a lot of faucets that have the cartridges on the side like this are very similar to this one. So we just unscrew this out, and usually they'll have some sort of part here where you can attach a wrench or a crescent wrench or whatever to loosen this off. Now this is what holds the cartridge in place. So if you take this off and you do not shut the water down, this will fly off and you'll get water shooting out everywhere and you'll cause a huge mess. That's why it's very important to shut the water down before you take this cartridge out. Dish towel, and we will take this little piece out. So when you're taking these out, don't just like adjust your wrench, just go as hard as you can right away. You want to finesse this out. You don't want to break anything, really. So, oh, look at that. It wasn't even tight. Usually these can be stubborn. She was just barely in there, to be honest. And then if you come on the side here, so this is that nut that'd be holding the cartridge in place. So a lot of these are going to be very similar to this. Okay, they might look a little different, but it's the same idea where the cartridge sits in here and then this nut is what holds the cartridge in place. Okay, and then what I do is I'll just grab the handle, or the part of the cartridge where the handle screws onto, and just pull straight out like that. And there we go. The cartridge is done. So when you are replacing a cartridge, for one, you want to make sure that with the new cartridge you have a new gasket, because over time this gasket will get flat, and most of the time that is the problem, is that this gasket becomes flat and loses its ability to seal, and that's usually where the problem lies. And then that water will just come and slowly drip out of here. And if the actual cartridge, like inside, has failed, I've tried to take these apart before and tried to fix them. It just doesn't work. So you're better off just to go and get a new cartridge, which you just get your whatever faucet that you have. Let them know the model number of it, and you could always take this out, take some pictures of it if you don't want to, leave. If your sink can still operate, you can with a little leak or whatever, just take this out, take some pictures, take it to a plumbing wholesale, or maybe look online and find something that looks exactly the same as this, or that has like the same numbers that are written on the cartridge itself. So, and that's it. So what we'll do now is we'll put this back together, which is pretty easy. A lot of these are, like I said, very similar to this. There will be only one way that you can put this cartridge in. It won't allow you to put it in any other way. Then this one has two little, where it aligns the cartridge inside of the faucet here. So So, and when you are taking your cartridge out and replacing it, like I said, make sure that this gasket here, I can feel it's still got a little oil on it, or sorry, a little grease, and you want to make sure that has some sort of lubrication on it. If it doesn't, it'll dry up a lot quicker and it'll flatten a lot faster. It won't last as long. And like I said, that's usually where the problem lies. And so we'll slide this back in. And a good way to tell that it's seated is you push it in and you try to turn the cartridge. The cartridge is seated, it's not turning. So if it wasn't seated here, you can feel that it's gonna turn. So I know right there it's seated. We'll put our nut, our little piece that holds the cartridge in place. So sometimes these can be a little stubborn. So what I'll do is I'll slide this in, put pressure on the cartridge a little bit so that it doesn't push out on this. And then here we can tighten this in here. Now this doesn't need to be crazy tight. All we're doing is we're compressing that little gasket that I was showing you before. We're just compressing that into the housing of the cartridge. So you don't need to go crazy tight on that. So just get it snug, like there, and then just go up, maybe just like 1/8 of a turn. That's good. So from here, I'll shut the faucet off. What I like to do now in this position is I'll turn the water back on, and I'll make sure that nothing is leaking from here. I won't put the handle and everything back on because I've done it before where you put everything back together and it's still leaking, there's still a problem and you gotta take it all off again. So it's kind of wasting time. So I'll come and turn the water on. So water's on, wipe it down here, do a little inspection. Don't see any leaks, it looks like we're good to go. So we'll put everything back together. So this nut screws on. Now this is just a decorative piece, so you don't need to put any tools or anything on here when you're putting this back on. And just squeeze it, just turn it. So it's nice and snug, nothing crazy. Now the handle, slide it on. We can just do a test to make sure that it's working like it's supposed to. Okay, then we'll grab our handle. Now what I like to do here is I'll pull the handle and push it in as far as I can. I'll work the handle around. It looks like it's in a good position when it's pushed in all the way. What I'll do is I'll just hold pressure on to the handle, pushing it into the cartridge, and then I'll tighten the Allen key up, just like this. And this Allen key, I wouldn't go too crazy tight on it. Get it snug, and then just do an eighth turn, just like that. Nice and easy. And then we'll put our little cover on here, and we'll just make sure that we put it on the right side. These faucets, some of them, when you pull it to the front, it's hot. Some of them, you pull it to the front, it's cold. They're not all the same. It's hot, and to the back is cold. Okay, so we'll put our little plug back in here and put the hot to the front and the cold to the back, just like that. And that's it. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know, and we'll see you on the next one.